Continuing with my discussion regarding pressure gauge calibration, let me have a small discussion about what is the theory behind it and then continue with the calibration of pressure gauge. Okay. First and the foremost, calibration of pressure gauge. What do you mean calibration of pressure gauge? Here we have a pressure gauge. This needs to be calibrated for its correctness. Okay. For this we need something which can be used as a standard. What I mean, see here, if this pressure gauge shows the value of 2 indicates the value of 2 kg per centimeter square, I must be sure that I have applied 2 kg per centimeter square. So how do you make sure? We have, see here, these are the plates. These are the plates, pressure plates, on which the value has been mentioned here, which is mentioned as 2 kg per centimeter square. When you place this above the platform, there is a platform here, and this self weight is 0.5. So when we place a weight of 2 kg here, so the net weight will be 2 kg per centimeter square. Please note, I repeatedly say here that this itself is not 2 kg. This is not 2 kg. But when you place this entire casting, this is a cast product, one piece here on the platform, it will exert a pressure of, based on the cylinder diameter and the piston ring here, it will exert a pressure of 2 kg per centimeter square. Okay, just a minute. Then it says when I am applying 2.5 kg centimeter square, if the pressure gauge indicates 2.5 kg per centimeter square, it means that the pressure gauge is perfectly okay and it has a zero error. Note that no instrument in the world has a zero error. The instruments will have some minor error here and there. We need to adjust with those or give the calibration. So the very purpose of calibration is to identify how much is the error, apply that error either on the plus side or on the minus side, addition, minus. If it is showing, say I am sure that this is 2.5 kg, and if my pressure gauge shows 2 kg, I can say that whenever the pressure gauge shows 2 kg per centimeter square, the actual value is 2.5 kg per centimeter square. And if it is showing a 3, then how much it is? We need to apply and find out how much is that. Another question may come, sir, can we extrapolate the number? Say for 1 kg there is 0.5 kg, 0.2 kg error. So can you say for 2 kg it is 0.4 and for 3 kg it is 0.6? Not necessarily. See, we are going to deal here with altogether different kinds of measuring systems. Some measuring systems may have linear errors. Some may have non-linear behavior. That is, for up to, let us say for example, the pressure gauge. Up to 4 kg per centimeter square, it may have 0.1, 0.2 error. Next, once you cross 4 to 6, it may show 0.5 error. Then if you cross 6 to 8, it may show 0.8 error. We don't know. We don't know how the instrument behaves. So for example, the 50 feet tape. Okay. This you must be easy for you to visualize. Because of the wear and tear on the ground, outside, rain, sun, and all wear and tear with the help of workers, normally it so happens the 50 feet tape, the first few inches are cut off. It always happens. And we start measuring from the first feet onwards. The number 1 count, whenever that 50th feet is counted, we mean it is 49. And what happened to that one additional foot? That was discounted right in the beginning because it was cut off. Either it is 4 inch or 5 inch, never mind. We take a reading from first point onwards, first inch to first inch of this first feet right up till the 50th feet. In the sense, first feet is eliminated, what remains is 49 feet. But if you forget, you are adding 1 foot every time, or 4 or 5 inches is getting deducted in your 50 feet. So this is an error that, and it is a compounded error. Every time that you measure, you are losing 4 inch or 5 inch. But this can be minimized straight away. So it is linear error. You measure 50 times, each 50 times you are measuring 4 inches less. So that is linear error. But cases like pressure gauge or LVDT or any, the errors could be non-linear up to one range. So always calibration is done for range. See, I may calibrate the dead weight here. We have it. This is a dead weight pressure gauge. Its range is 0 to 25 kg per centimeter square, which means that we can mount any pressure gauge which can measure up to 25 kg per centimeter square, and that can be calibrated. Now, for calibration of 25 kg, I need to have 25 kg weight with me. Then only I can calibrate, not otherwise. And please note, we have maximum is 10 kg per centimeter square. Now you may ask, sir, how do you calibrate this? If I give you a pressure gauge, now another pressure gauge, this is maximum is 10 kg. Well, I can calibrate. If one of you want to calibrate 25 kg, how do you do that? Process is simple. This instrument has a capability to measure up to 25. Get the additional weights. Get additional weights. Make it 25 kg per centimeter square. Mount the pressure gauge. Calibrate it. Keep on adding the weights, and whenever the output is shown by the pressure gauge, compare it with the input. This is input, this is output. Then tabulate the results. Okay. Now let us come to the pressure gauge purse in the construction. This is our pressure gauge, calibration of pressure gauge calibration setup. Its range is 0 to 25 kg. And the pressure gauge that we have mounted for testing is 0 to 10 kg. So which means that 10 kg is pressure gauge, we can definitely calibrate here. One. Another thing is, this works on the principle of uniform pressure distribution across all the sections in a liquid column. Here the pressure oil has been filled, SAE 20 oil. SAE, Society for Automotive Engineers. So this is SAE 20 oil has been filled here right up till to the neck, and this is a pressure cylinder, and this is a piston arrangement. Let me tell you the working of this pressure gauge. How does the pressure gauge work? Now and please note that we need to just one moment. Can you zoom in here? This is where the oil is being filled. Always make sure that the oil is filled up to the brink. See that the oil is right up till the brink here, and always make also sure that there is no air bubble formed. One very important aspect is air bubble can get into this trap, get into this pipe, and it can create disturbance. But if there are air bubbles, how to take them out? You can just take a wick, small wick, you can take small wick, and then with the help of that wick, take out that air bubble. Once you are very sure that there is no air bubble, close this properly. Okay, now. What about the position of these two valves? Please note, this valve needs to be, once the oil is completely filled in this, we need to close this. We need to close. Let me tell you why, what happens. See, this is open, this is closed. That is, left side anti-clockwise is open, clockwise is closed, so no issues. What happens if it is open? Very simple. When I apply pressure here through clockwise rotation, the oil in the cylinder gushes out through the pipes here, and here it comes out through, it oozes out of this container. So always make sure that the pressure gauge, the right side valve is closed. Okay. Left side valve. What is the function of this left side valve? Please note, it is this valve controls the oil flow to the pressure gauge. Now, if I close this is open. If I close this, let me know what happens. See, this is in closed condition now. Pressure gauge is closed. See, the very purpose is to calibrate this pressure gauge. And if we close this valve, how is that you are going to supply the pressure, oil pressure to the pressure gauge, and the pressure gauge can show some reading? No chance. There is no oil here now. No matter how much is the pressure here, see, you can see the pressure being applied. Okay, this is 0.5 kg, it got lifted up. But our pressure gauge is still showing 0. Reason being, it is not receiving the pressure. Simple, it is not receiving the pressure. So keep this pressure gauge open. Okay, valve always keep it open completely. Then keep this closed. Then I will tell you the experiment. Always while checking the load condition, now we have applied 0.5 kg. This is 0.5 kg. By default, the platform itself is 0.5. And let me check whether my pressure gauge is showing the 0.5 kg. How do I identify 0.5 has been applied? That is by rotating the rod here and piston cylinder element. Just gently keep rotating this, because this platform may get stuck here in the piston cylinder element. At one point of time, this this platform gets lifted up. That is the time when the pressure is 0.5 kg per centimeter square. Yeah, can you see this now? Have a look. Why it is getting lifted up? Because there is oil pressure which is equivalent to 0.5. Okay. Now let me see our pressure gauge. What is the value it is showing? Our pressure gauge is showing 1 kg per centimeter. It is nearer to 1, almost 1 kg, which means that this is defective. At 0.5 kg per centimeter square, the pressure gauge is giving a value of 1 kg. Please, you need to note down this value. Later, I will write it on the board. I will tabulate this result. Just a minute. I will show you the result. So this is how the simple tabulation looks like. 3 columns, serial number, applied pressure, and indicated pressure. Okay. Both are in kg per centimeter square. Please note the units. Kg per centimeter square. So serial number 1, applied pressure is 0.5 kg per centimeter square. Then indicated pressure is 1 kg per centimeter square. Error found out here is this third section is error. Error is plus 0.5 kg per centimeter square. kg per centimeter square. It is plus side. It is showing higher value. Okay. Let me check what happens to my next value. Let me add next part, that is another 0.5 kg. If you can observe here, if it is visible, it is mentioned here 0.2, 0.5 kg per centimeter square. Okay, this is 0.5 kg per centimeter square. Let me apply, and of course before that let me release the pressure. Okay, apply. So now half kg already existing is half. Effectively we are applying 1 kg per centimeter square pressure. 1.0 kg per centimeter square pressure. Okay, let me conduct the let me apply the pressure and just see what is the pressure shown by our pressure gauge. Okay, gradually apply, and please rotate. One of you can rotate this and apply the pressure gradually. At one point, that is when pressure is exactly equal to 1 kg per centimeter square, the platform gets lifted up. Can you see here? It is getting gradually lifted, fully, it is not completely lifted though. Yeah. Now it is completely lifted. Okay. Now the platform is completely lifted. Applied pressure is 1 kg per centimeter square, and the value shown here is, if you observe, it is 1.1 kg per centimeter square. 1.1 kg per centimeter square. That means it is plus 0.1 kg is the error. It is showing 1 kg. Now let me apply third load, that is I am applying, instead of half kg, I will apply 1 kg. So effectively I am applying 1.5 kg. Let me just check how much is the value shown by the pressure gauge. Okay, done. Let me rotate, apply the load, keep rotating. Still the platform is not lifted. It is getting lifted now. Okay, I think it is lifted fully. No, not yet. Yeah, done. 1.5 kg is the applied load. 1.5 kg is the applied load, and indicated load is 1.6 kg. 1.6 kg per centimeter square. So again we are getting an error of plus 0.1 kg per centimeter square error. Okay, third reading. Likewise, we need to repeat this experiment for 4 or 5 sets of readings and then plot the graph. Please note, you need to plot a graph of applied load versus indicated load. Okay. So 1 kg, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is the value, 1, 2, 3, 4, and indicator is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is applied load, applied pressure in the sense kg per centimeter square. This is indicated pressure in kg per centimeter square. In the ideal condition, if everything is okay, our line should be straight line at 45 degrees. But it will never be like this. See, as on now, at 0.5 kg, it is showing 1 kg, which is wrong. Okay, this is the first value. Next, at 1 kg, it is showing 1.1. This is 1 kg, and at 1 kg, it is showing 1.1. Okay, let us say this is 1.1. So this is second value. Next, at 1.5 kg, it is showing 1.6. So this is 1.5 is here somewhere. Okay, this is 1, this is 1.5, this is 1.5. So 1.6 comes somewhere here. Okay, so the third point is 1.5 kg. So this is third reading. Now look at this, 1, 2, I don't know, I have not continued the experiment. So it may behave like this, you never know. And this is called as calibration curve. Either you can draw a smooth curve or you can draw a straight line curve. So this is what is called calibration curve. Now, if someone, one among you comes up with some weight, I don't know how much is this. I'll just check, I don't know the weight. I'll just check with the pressure gauge, it is showing 1.5 kg. Okay, now I'll just check 1.5 kg. I know the indicated pressure is 1.6. Then I say there is a pressure, yes sir, there is an error of 1 kg, 0.1 kg. The actual value is 1.5. I can give them in saying confidently the weights that you have given or the component that you have given is, though your pressure gauge is showing 1.6, I know my pressure gauge has an error of 0.1. It is same way like you give a watch, somebody is asking now it is in my watch 4:23 and I know it is 3 minutes ahead of the schedule, I know. So when somebody asks me the time, I'll tell him, gentlemen, it is now it is showing 4:24, actual time is 4:21, because I know that it is ahead of time by 3 minutes. And what is this? This is nothing but calibration. In a mind, you are already calibrating the value. Now you must have set your watches in your home always 10 minutes ahead. You want to come reach in time. So normally in the morning, it is ahead of the schedule by about half an hour or 20 minutes. Somebody will have set half an hour ahead. So you may not be knowing, and when you look at the clock and it shows 8 o'clock, you are in a hurry. No matter, it is 7:30 actually. It is calibrated to show 8 o'clock, whereas it is still 7:30, but it is in the good interest. But in the engineering terms, in the engineering field, in mechanical measurements and metrology, we need to make sure that all our instruments get calibrated on a regular basis, and especially in the cases where it involves international trade, international transportation, high-end equipments, components or components associated with health hazards, safety, just like pressure gauges, just like our cookers or chemical components or medical applications. Please note, if your injection is supposed to give you 0.5 ml, 1 ml of an injection dose, okay, and if your mark is wrong, 0.1 ml can make the difference between life and death. So we should know about this. And if you, especially in case of watches, if your watch is running ahead by, in India it may not matter much, but when you go abroad, when you go on your professional assignments, and if you are late by 1 minute, you are out of your meetings, you are out of your bus, or then you are going to miss all those things very easily. It is quite natural. So all our instruments must be calibrated. When we speak about our assembly manufacturing units, all our components within the tolerance zones must be calibrated. The instruments must be calibrated so that our measurement systems are calibrated, so that when our components are sent abroad, when our components are sent to the next assembly line, they get accepted. You are always right because you have calibrated equipment
your measuring system, and as per the measuring systems you are given the components. So unless you make sure that your equipments are calibrated, you cannot claim that it is exactly now 425. I cannot claim exactly, I cannot claim it is 1.6. See, I know this instrument has an error. I have checked just now. When I go and use it elsewhere, at every point I'll check my calibration curve. When it shows 2 kg per centimeter square, I'll check at 2 what should be the actual value. Okay, actual value is 1.8. Then I can tell my customer, gentlemen, the pressure is 1.8. How did I come to know? I already know that there is a built-in error in this. So I want you to have a look into how the pressure gauge is being calibrated. Note down these 3 values and plot the graph with only these 3 values is never mind. We can when you come to actual conduct of the experiment, we can continue with remaining another 2-3 sets. Meanwhile, by next week, I want you to see that aim, calibration of pressure gauge, apparatus, pressure gauge, then additional weights, this is and the pressure gauge tester. This is called as dead weight pressure gauge tester. We need to have these 3. Next, the aim behind the theory behind it is uniform pressure distribution across all the liquid columns here. So the oil used here is 20 SAE 20. So please note these things as inputs are the apparatus and the theory. Write down 1 or 2 lines or 2 paragraphs about the theory. Then comes the procedure, how the experiment is conducted. We will circulate you through the WhatsApps or through your or it is uploaded. It will be uploaded on our Google Meet class or in our Google class for mechanical measurements. You get yourselves enrolled to that, download that, note it down. I think I'm done with my explanation for pressure gauge calibration. We will look forward to your journal submission by this weekend, and by next Monday we want to see that all of you have submitted your are uploaded on your website on our Google Classroom. Okay, thank you.